Hey and welcome back. Now that we have ourselves a WDS server and a WSUS server, I thought it would be interesting to make a video about how to take updates from the WSUS server using PowerShell and inject them into an install image. This way, when you install a new operating system, you will have at least most of the updates already integrated in it and take from WSUS maybe only the newer ones. I'm on my WDS server. And first things first, let's start with the Windows updates part. What we have to do in this video is connect through PowerShell to the WSUS server, get a list of all the updates for Windows Server 2012, download them locally, and then we can get to the other part of injecting them into the image. In order to connect to WSUS using PowerShell, we first need the commandlets that permit us to do this. So this first command does exactly this. It will install the WSUS commandlets on our WDS01 server. Good. Now with the commands installed, let's make ourselves a folder where we get the updates. And let's create a variable with this folder so we don't have to worry about it. Now, to connect to the WSUS server, it's very easy. We just use get WSUS server, we specify the name and the port. And no error occurred, so we are connected. And to get the updates, we just use this WSUS variable with the get updates function. So in all updates, now we have everything that is on our update server. But of course, in a big environment where you may have updates for Windows 10, for Windows 7, for Windows Server 2012, 2012 R2 and so on, we need to go a little further down and filter all of these updates. And this is what the next command does. In this line, we take all the updates and then we filter them first only by the product title. So we remain only with the updates meant for Windows Server 2012. After that, we also get only the ones that are approved, so we don't make any mistakes and inject an update that maybe we should not inject. And this is very important, so you don't get a lot of updates. Is superseded equals false means that we will get only updates that are, let's say, the newest iteration. Not also superseded updates that are not relevant anymore. The only thing is that in our test environment we don't really have too many updates downloaded, and I'm pretty sure all of them are superseded. So we are going to skip this part in this demo, but please, I suggest that you use it in a productive environment so you don't end up with a list of 400 updates. Let's actually try something and I will show you. So let's get all the updates that are meant for 2012 without any of the other filters and see how many there are. With measure, and you see there are 658 updates, and I'm pretty sure if we would use also approved and superseded, we would remain maybe with maximum maybe 200, but I think even less than 200. So I really suggest you use it. But without further ado, let's get a list of updates, which should end up with, I think, 2 or 3 if I remember correctly, because this is how many we approved. Let's see, WSUS updates. Let's measure 3 updates. Okay, now we go a little more deeper. We have a list of all the updates and all the metadata about them. We have to go through each one of the updates and drill a little deeper into the data about them. And what I mean by this is, first we have to, for each update, we have to get the installable items list, which means strip down all the metadata, descriptions and stuff, and remain with the part about the actual cab files. After that, we get a list of the actual files and we filter by the type self-contained. There are 2 types of updates in Windows, self-contained and express. And for this video we need self-contained. Okay, we filter by that, we make a little more selects, and then we should remain with the actual file URI. Basically now for each update we should have 1 or more URLs that point to where it is on the WSUS server. We have to go also through those URLs and actually really get the update from the server. So you can see that we begin to transform the URL from HTTP to SMB. We know that the content folder of WSUS is on C, so we will access the C $share, and it's usually in C $WSUS /WSUS content. And the last line, we actually copy the file locally. Let's see how this looks like, if it worked. So remember, the folder is C updates. We should have at least 3 files in this folder, and it's true. So you can take some time and really go through these commands if you want. But this is what they do, they go and get the files from the server. And now I just want to get a list of all the updates that we have with the full path. Meaning that I want this list for the next part. Okay, so now that we have the updates locally, we can start injecting them into our Windows image. Unfortunately, we have to delete these images from our WDS server because we cannot inject updates into images imported. We have to inject the updates and then import the images. On this server I have the Windows Server 2012 ISO mounted. Please don't forget to do it also. Open it, go to sources, and copy the install vim somewhere on your server. I will copy it in cmount. So I'll copy it here. Let's also put the folder in a variable so it's easier for us. Excellent. So with the image copied locally, we can now go ahead and mount it so we can inject the updates. But first, I made a slight mistake. I'm copying the image directly in C and not in cmount. You will see why. Okay, so getting details about the image, if you remember from a previous video, a normal Windows Server image has actually more flavors of the OS in it. It's like, actually in this image there are 4 images that share files between them, and these are server core, server standard, data center core, and data center. Now it's very important when injecting updates, because if you want to install all the 4 flavors at some point, you have to inject the updates in all of these indexes one by one. So it's not enough to just mount index 1, inject the updates, and then if you install server standard, magically they will be there. You have to treat each index as if it were a separate image to you. Now in this video we are going to mount only index 1 and inject the updates in this one. But believe me, if we do this and you try to install any of the other flavors, you will not see the update in it. So just take care about this. Okay, and with this, let's mount the image. When we mount it in cmount. Great, it's mounted, and let me show you actually what this means. In the mount folder, now you see what you would typically see in a fresh installation of Windows. Because like I told you, the Vim image actually contains what is being placed on your C drive during installation. So now that we have the image mounted, we can go ahead and iterate through each one of the update files and add it to this mount directory. And based on the number of updates you have, it could take a while, and also for some updates you may receive errors, which is totally normal because not all updates can be injected. Some of them really have to be installed while the OS is online. So don't be scared if you see also errors. So all 3 updates seems like they were injected. Now the last step in the injection process is to dismount the image from the folder and also save all the changes. So now the Vim file will contain also the 3 updates. And with the image dismounted, we can go ahead now and import the new install.vim into WDS. Add install image, and it's directly in C. And we can add all the 4 flavors, it's okay. And after the image will be copied, I will install a test machine with server core standard, of course, and I will show you when it's done if the updates are there or not. So let's see now the moment of truth. Get hotfix. And we have 3 updates installed, which were installed on the 18th of January 2020 by Test Corp administrator. Sounds right to me. I will not show on this video, but if you try to install any other flavor of the OS, like I told you, the updates will not appear. So you have to really mount index 1, inject them, then unmount. Mount index 2, inject, then unmount, and so on. So I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I would appreciate if you subscribe, like, and share. And I'll see you in the next one.